We live? We good?
Yes, sir.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check. I'm just checking the sound. If y'all hear me, give me a 1 on the screen. Oh, check the what you call it too. The Facebook, not Facebook, the YouTube. Make sure we good. Everybody can hear us. Headquarters, Long Island. There's a few of them that we on. Nah, I'm not the live. I'm not worried. We just sound we good. You sound good? Are we good? Clear. Very clear. All right, most high in Christ. Let's get started. We the Isupk started at a 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We've been doing this since 1969, letting the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native, we're the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It was so funny, you know, damn near my walk, it almost want to get into it. But if you saw the picture, like you see this life-size razor, like the racism of so-called oppressor is astounding, man. Like we look at him as a god. He look at us as a coon coming to kill you with a razor as the size of an axe.
No socks.
You know what I'm saying? With no socks. No, he got shoes on, but no socks. No. Like he just came home from work. Shar, if you could put the picture on the screen.
Unkept hair.
Put the picture on the screen. We ain't like damn near almost might as well get into it damn near before the screen. But put the picture on the screen so people can see what the hell I'm talking about. Jesus. Yeah, put the picture on the screen. This is your oppressor. This is what he thinks we look like. This is what they scared of. They think someone's gonna break it. They're gonna break into the crib. That's what he think gonna break into the crib with a razor as big as your head. You see that? Like yo, like it's crazy. And the funny thing, we're gonna read the book. What is it called, Ashar? Read it for them.
It's called Watermelons, Nooses, and Straight Razors. Stories from the Jim Crow Museum.
Right.
By David Pilgrim. Forward by Debbie Irving.
Right. Make the screen small. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, what's so crazy about this, what the book we're going to get into is about like Jim Crow and a whole bunch of, you know, slavery and different narratives. But the thing about it, what's so crazy is it's going to show why the people up north, why we carry razors. You know what I'm saying? There's a stigma between it. You know, every brother like, yo, I got a knife on me. I got this on me.
Right.
Well, it comes from somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It comes from something. It's not out of nowhere, but it's from somewhere. And it comes from racism, as white people like to call it. You know what I'm saying?
As everything.
As everything.
As everything.
As everything. But right before we go, let me get this scripture real quick. Damn, I just had it. It's a lot of it. Where did I put it? I'll read this one. Give me Psalms chapter 47. Right? And start at verse 7. Damn, I just had the whole thing. There we go. Right.
Psalms 147.
Yeah, Khan.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Sing unto the Lord with thanksgiving.
Psalm 74. My fault.
74. Salah.
Yeah, my fault. That's my bad. Psalm 74, verse 7.
Psalms chapter 74, verse 7. They have cast fire into thy sanctuary.
Right.
They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground.
Right. So right here it says they have cast fire into thy sanctuary. So you gotta remember what a sanctuary is. A sanctuary is a place for us to be safe at. A place where like these our brothers and sisters that's here, these migrants, you know what I'm saying? They come here for a sanctuary. New York is a sanctuary state. So there's different places where they could go in and feel safe with their kids and their family, and nobody can go in there and harm them or anything. That's what we lost. We lost a place where we could go in and feel like a nation, feel like God's chosen people, a place where we can do our Lord's statutes and commandments, do our high holy days, do everything we need to do to serve the Most High God. But it says right here again, read it again, Shar.
They have cast fire.
They have what?
Cast fire.
And that's important. They have cast what?
Fire.
And that just shows you how your oppressor is, because he always burns down something. He's always casting fire. He's always making sure he's going to light something on fire to get you out of somewhere. Go ahead.
If I may, I just want the people to really understand what's being said, because a lot of times when you read the scriptures, they think so magical with it. They don't understand. He's saying they cast fire. I mean, they firebombing a sanctuary.
Right.
But even back then, even in biblical times, they were firebombing your sanctuaries.
Right. Absolutely. And it just lets you know your oppressor, not just one, but all of them. They don't change. Right. They're always the same. They got to burn something down that belongs to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They got to destroy something. They got to destroy your safety. Something that's for you. Something that makes you feel safe. Imagine that little place you go into, your room, your house, your closet, and where you with your AirPods, you play your games, listen to your music, wherever you go. Imagine someone coming in there, breaking down the door, messing it up, burn it down, don't make flooded it, smoke it out. How you gonna feel? You gonna be feeling like, yo, what the hell are you doing? This is the only place I have to escape all what's out there. A place that's to myself, a place of safety, gone. But it says what, Ashar?
It says, they have cast fire
right
into thy sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground.
Right, and that's what's important. It's not just any sanctuary. It's our places where we go and serve the Most High God. A holy place at that, that's getting burned down, that's getting destroyed. And once you destroy something that's holy of the Lord, and where are the places we go to learn everything, where else are you going to learn stuff from? Your oppressor. That's all that you have left to learn. Your history, your culture is from the person that enslaves you, a person that took away your safe place. Now you have to be provided for whatever they're going to give you. Right. Keep going, Ashar.
Verse 8.
Yeah, come on.
They said in their hearts, let us destroy them.
Let them what?
Let us destroy them.
Let us what?
Let us destroy them.
And that's how they are. That's how they are. They're going to burn your sanctuaries down. They're going to burn down your homes. They're going to burn down your villages. They're going to burn down your stores, your bakeries, your laundry mats, your airports, your hospitals. And they're going to say, what, Ashar?
Let us destroy them.
Yeah, let's destroy them. We done destroyed everything else. So let's destroy these people. Let's destroy them, because we already destroyed their places to worship, the places they go to eat, the places they go to hang out, their music halls, their libraries, their schools. Hell, listen, let's take it further. Let's destroy their children, their fathers, their mothers. It said, let us destroy them. Keep going.
Let us destroy them together.
To what?
Together.
Listen, not just one type of oppressor. There's many. There's many nations who seek to destroy you, man. That's why it says, let's destroy them together. Keep going.
They have burned
They
up.
have what?
They have burned
They have
up.
what?
They have burned up all the synagogues of God in the land.
And that shows you to a T that our oppressor loves burning down something. He loves destroying something by fire. He loves it. He loves it so much. It might not be actual matches, but guess what? It might be a missile. It might be a Molotov cocktail. It might be a drone strike. It might be something that might ignite fire, or something that's going to burn down your sanctuaries, your holy places. Something that's going to destroy your culture, man. Right. But keep going, Ashar. What else it says?
Verse 9. We see not our signs.
Right.
There is no more any prophet.
Right.
Neither is there any Salakia. neither is there among us any that knoweth how long.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 10. O God, how long shall the adversary reproach?
Mm-hmm.
Shall the enemy blaspheme thy name forever?
Right, man. And that's what's important. Listen, they seek to destroy us all the time. No matter where we go, don't be this confused. No matter where we go, they're gonna come find us and destroy us. That's what their job is to do. That's how they seek. Remember, it says they have Sloggy. It says they said in their hearts. It's in their hearts to destroy us. It's in their hearts to destroy everything that we represent of the Most High God. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to hunt us down. They're going to destroy us. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Why? Because they know when we serve the Most High God, no one can kill us. No one can destroy us or unalive us. Salagi. No one can unalive us. No one can destroy us when we're together with the Lord's statutes and commandments. But right now, right, let's get right into it. Let's go right into the book, right? Right into the book. Yeah, you.
What page?
Damn, I forgot the page, but it's the page that the name of the title is like Razors.
95, yeah. Again, this is from the book Watermelons, Nooses, and Straight Razors.
Right.
Stories from the Jim Crow Museum by David Pilgrim. Page 95. Chapter 4, Razor-Toting Criminals. A quote from Charles Walden Chestnut. What white man, while the memory of this tragic event should last, would trust his throat again beneath a Negro's razor?
Right, so right here, he getting straight to it. Like, what white man would trust a black man with a razor? Keep going.
But if I may, but he's talking about which white man will trust a Negro after this event.
Mm-hmm.
Like something happened that's saying, okay, we should not ever be trusting them to even get close to our necks again after this.
Mm-hmm.
Paragraph 1. In the 1940s, two social scientists, Gordon Allport and Leo Postman, conducted an experiment to understand how rumors spread.
Right.
In the experiment, subjects were shown a slide of a black man dressed in suit and tie. He is standing and talking to a casually dressed white man, also standing. The white man has a straight razor in his hand. There are other people in the image, all white, all seated. The subjects who were shown the illustration were instructed to describe it to others who had not seen it. Those who heard the description were asked to pass on their descriptions.
Right.
Those who heard the story third hand were asked to recount it. In more than half the accounts, it was the black man who held the razor. In some instances, he was described as brandishing it violently.
Keep going.
Paragraph 2.
Mm-hmm.
In that same decade, the fledgling civil rights movement earned important early victories against the racial hierarchy that dominated much of the southern and border states. A. Philip Randolph won concessions from President Roosevelt by organizing a mass protest. The NAACP won significant victories, laying the foundation for the Brown v. Board of Education decision. In 1947, Jackie Robinson became the first black man to play Major League Baseball in the modern era.
And the thing about Jackie Robinson, he betrayed his people too. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. To get what he wanted, what he had to do, he had to leave behind so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be remembered. You understand? For Black History Month, you think of Jackie Robinson, oh man, he finally made it to the big leagues. But what he did, he had to step on all your brothers and sisters' heads to get to the big leagues. Keep going, Ashar.
I just want to answer the same thing with the Puerto Rican brother Roberto Clemente.
Right.
Him and Jackie Robinson were in the same position.
Of course.
In 1948, the president Slovakia. In 1948, President Truman ordered the armed services to begin to desegregate. The United States was changing slowly, begrudgingly, but old racial ideas lingered, including the belief that blacks were innately prone to violence.
Mm.
Kind of what President Biden thought.
No, that's exactly what President Biden thought. Read it again and show what he said.
The United States was changing slowly, begrudgingly, but old racial ideas lingered, including the belief that blacks were innately prone to violence.
Listen, they just thought like you just made to be violent.
If I may.
Uh-huh.
Alexa, what year was President Biden born?
Joe Biden was born in 1942.
In 1948, President Truman ordered the armed services
Right.
to begin desegregating. The United States was changing slowly, begrudgingly, but old racial ideas lingered, including the belief that blacks were innately prone to violence.
Listen, man, and that's why you go back to the scripture. That's why they burning down our sanctuaries. That's why they want to get rid of all your lands, because that's what they think. They think no matter where you go, you're gonna be prone to violence. Listen, we can't give them airports. You know what happens when you give black people airplanes? They're gonna bomb everywhere. Not only that, you know what they're gonna do to our beautiful women and our daughters? Right. That's in their mind. Their minds is sick, but they don't see how sick they truly are. They out there they'll burn down anything. They'll flood our villages, kidnap our kids. They'll do whatever it takes to feel safe in their nice white villages and nice white homes.
If I may.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1940s, two social scientists, Gordon Allport and Leo Postman, conducted an experiment to understand how rumors spread.
Mm. Keep going, Ashar.
Come on, back to paragraph 2. A symbol, going on to page 96, a symbol of that violence was the straight razor, presumably the weapon of choice.
The what?
The weapon of
The
choice.
straight razor was a what?
The weapon of choice.
Yo, this is your oppressor. Show him, yeah, right there, show him. Make sure people can see it. Right there. That's what they thought we would look like. Your weapon of choice, like a goddamn Mortal Kombat character. You out there wielding a razor as size of a bat. That's how he imagined you. Go ahead, Ashar.
Counselor. Presumably the weapon of choice of black people. To better understand the link between black people, criminal portrayals, and the straight razors, one may begin by examining the role that minstrel shows and coon songs played in establishing and popularizing the link.
Right.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Let's go. We got a lot to go through.
Third paragraph titled Razor-Toting Coons. This image that you see here on the screen, Zip Coon was one of the early stock characters.
Say that again. His name was what?
Zip Coon.
Zip what?
Zip Coon.
That's your oppressor right there, man. They call you a zip. Zip. Spell it for them, Ashar.
Z-I-P. Zip.
Zip coon. Yeah, fast coon. All right. Make sure you use the mic too, so people can hear you. A zip coon. Go ahead and Google that. If y'all are listening, go Google zip coon. You understand? Go Google that, because that's the type of bywords they called us. Things that they portray for us to be. Like, we out there with razors. They think we're a goddamn militia out there with razors and bombs and grenades to take over America. That's how they believe we're gonna do. You think we're gonna so-called take over America with force and go ravish their women. That's what they believe. What are you doing, Ashar? Googling the image?
I was just looking at it.
I don't think that's so much. It's not gonna show you the
It's showing the songs and
right.
Yeah.
Nah, but go back to the book. Keep going. It's a few pages we gotta read.
Zip Coon was one of the early stock characters in professional minstrel shows.
Right.
First performed by George Dixon in 1834
And remember, these minstrel shows, these is done by a so-called oppressor.
in blackface.
Yeah, in blackface. So imagine your oppressor in blackface portraying with a razor like this. He going out there and they dancing and doing all types of songs and singing so-called quote-unquote coon songs, entertaining. Guess who? Their fellow brothers and sisters. They're white They're white people. They're out there having the fun of their time. But keep going, Ashar.
First performed by George Dixon in 1834, Zip Coon came into existence during the last 3 decades of slavery and the beginning of the minstrel period. During slavery, the character was used to demonstrate that black men, especially those living in northern cities, should be enslaved.
That should be in what?
Should be enslaved.
But in what cities though?
In especially those living in northern cities.
Yeah, so just think about that. The brothers and sisters, us up north here, that's where we should be at. We should be enslaved. Because why? They thought we were out there just have razor blades everywhere. Out there ready to cut somebody who step up to us. Tell you to laugh in the barrel. We're gonna say, oh, I'm not laughing in no barrel. Razor out. Cut them. That's what they think. Look, you making a picture bigger, Sean?
Concert.
Yeah, look right there. That's what they depicted us as. Somebody that had enough. I'm going out there with a razor blade the size of a bat. The size of the brother's head, the razor blade is. Out there to do what? Try to cut white people, man.
With a uncut kept hair and a
right.
undone tie.
Like he got off slavery. I'm done with all this. I'm tired. Keep going, Ashar.
Concert. During slavery, the character was used to demonstrate that black men, especially those living in northern cities, should be enslaved, not gallivanting around towns pretending to be white men.
Yeah, not gallivanting, trying to be them. Not trying to be a upper class so-called Negro. I'm sophisticated. I got me a white woman and a good job and this and that. They hated you.
Right.
Just think about that. They hated that you was trying to be them. Not only that, you couldn't even be yourself because if you acted like yourself, you know who you were? You was Zip Coon. But if you was trying to be like them, guess what? They don't want you to be like them either. So guess what? It's a lose-lose situation. You can't be nothing. Why? Because they don't see you as a human being. They see you as cattle. It's like you putting a coat on a cow. It's like, why the hell does this cow got on a coat? It's like putting clothes on dogs. Like, listen, I'll never get on it. I still don't get that. It's lucky. I still don't understand why people putting coats and shoes on animals. That's how they see us. They see us to this day as cattle. They don't see us as human beings. Because if that was the case, they would want us to be like them. Like they say, they supposed to be, they civilized us, right? So if you civilized us, why would you be upset that I'm trying to be like you? I'm trying to be more civilized. Well, the problem is they see that picture. They see us being Zip Coon, a nigga out there with a razor blade as size as a bat. Sorry, right. A black man as the size as a bat. Keep going, Ashar.
Concert. Not gallivanting around towns pretending to be white men.
Right.
Genteel urban white men. On stage, the Zip Coon character, performed most often by a white man in blackface makeup, wore a gaudy combination of formal wear, a long-tailed jacket, a frivolly laced shirt, a top hat, and jewelry. He was the quote-unquote uppity nigger who did not know his place. This ludicrous black dandy not only dressed like a fool, but talked like one. Audiences made up mostly of white people laughed at Zip Coon as he spoke with a combination of parentheses supposed black dialect and malaprop Salakia. This is my first time seeing this word. Malapropisms.
Let's Google it.
Malapropisms.
Yeah, Google. Put that on the screen. I can't see the word, so let's see what they saying. We act like. Boom! Right there, came right up. Press the button so we can hear how it sounds.
Okay, let me share this. Malapropism.
Right.
The mistaken use of a word in place of similar sounding one, often with unintentionally amusing effect, as in, for example, dance of flamingo instead of flamenco.
Okay, so basically, they saying we use slang.
Yes.
We're breaking down the word in a slang way instead of saying it properly.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Typical what our oppressor does. You know what I'm saying? Typical what he thinks of us. Where in reality, it's just our dialects. Go ahead.
If I may, it's interesting that it's only slang when we do it.
Right.
Right. So saying things like y'all is a short language for you all. It's fine when they do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they pronounce things like tomato here, when actually it's tomato
right
across the sea, or for example, when you say my schedule,
right,
when really it's pronounced schedule,
right,
across the sea. You know what I mean? Or garage. You know what I mean? Garage or garage. It's all short language. But when you do the short language, it's a problem.
Right. Absolutely. And the thing about it, what makes this, I don't want to say hilarious, but what makes it ironic is basically what he's saying is if you're trying to be so-called like a white man, you're an oppressor, you do anything. You'll, even if you're not sure how he talks or how they portray themselves, you'll try your best to be like them. Right. Even if it's messing up some of the words that you heard them say. You understand? That's like you see a businessman, I'm gonna try to do that. Just learn it the same way, but you ain't learned it correctly. You learned it what? The so-called quote unquote ghetto way. You learned it through YouTube and this and that. And I do. So he told me to break it down like this, and you sound like a fool. Right. You sound like a fool. Why? Because you ain't get the proper training, or you ain't learned the right way because you're trying to half-ass it. And the reality on really what it really is you just trying to be like your oppressor at the end of the day. And when you're trying to be like your oppressor, what's going to happen is he's going to make fun of you. He's going to look at you, like I said before, like a cattle, like a pig. Like, you know, those oppressors, you know, they dress up pigs, right? They put Santa hats on them and robes and this and bring them in the house. It's like, oh, Wilson is so cute and handsome. Look at my pig, and bring you in with the family. That's what they did to us. Just so imagine you seeing a pig, taking a pig to work. They're going to look at, why'd you bring a pig to work? That's how it is for us. Like, why'd you bring him to work? Why is he in here trying to eat with us at this table? Who is this man? Who's this Zen coon that you brought to the table? And in their minds, they're going to always have that picture. Put that picture back up, Ashar. Right, Trey God. Yeah, they use our slang and they take it. You damn right. We use slang. The slang we use, they'll take it and sell it. But when we use it, what happens? Listen, this is ebonics. They do this. They can't talk properly. They put all types of stuff. But this picture, I want y'all just to look at this picture. This is what they thought. How all black people would come and attack them in 1940s. But keep going, Ashar.
It says, here is a sample of Zip Coon's speech. Transcendentalism is that spiritual, cognoscence, psychological.
And what's so terrible is this is our oppressor trying to imitate what black people are saying.
Right.
Just like how that's just like if somebody like they're trying to imitate how cool we are. Like, don't you like my new Jordans?
It's like when they say, did I ask you a question?
Right,
Or,
right.
You know, is it Pacific?
Homie,
Yeah. It's
home slice.
Exactly.
Like that is exactly what they've been doing. There's nothing new. They've always done this. Keep going, Ashar.
Transcendentalism is that spiritual cognoscience of psychological irrefragability connected with conscient ademption of incolabent spirituality and etherealized connection, which is derived of invisible atoms that become
Yo, that's wild.
anatomically tatable.
It sounds like Brother Polite.
Right, I was about to say, it sounded like those blackity black people. That's what they thought you sounded like.
It sounded like I'm one of the Wayne brothers in Living Color.
Yeah, listen, that
Right.
and the sad part, that's what they think you sound like when you're trying to be so-called educated to them.
Today. Still.
Right.
Today.
Keep going, Ashar.
I can only imagine like the hand gestures, you know.
Listen, man. Listen, and that's how you know our oppressor, he's a devil, he's a deceiver. Right. Like, put that on the screen. So the brother said, like, the same reason they can't understand the scripture because it's written in slang. You damn right. They can never understand. They're not spiritual. They can't. They're so literal in their thinking that they will really think when we say on the street, Christ is going to crack the sky. They literally think the sky is going to crack open like a egg. The atmosphere and the space gonna come in here with the stars. It's like the atmosphere, we gonna be sucked out. Right. They can't fathom what we actually think. That's how spiritual we are when we talk. We're not really saying that. We're not really saying, look, yo, I'm about to go get some cheese. I'm not really talking about the actual cheese. I'm talking about we gonna get money. And everybody understands what I mean when I say cheese.
Right.
Well, go ahead, Ashar.
Concert. Next paragraph. Page 97.
Mm-hmm.
After slavery ended, white people continued to sit in the audiences of minstrel shows, satisfying their desire for entertainment by laughing at Zip Coon and other anti-black stage personas.
Right. And just remember, these minstrel shows have many performances. Not just the so-called Zip Coon thing. They have many other people imitating black people. Whatever they saw out in the world, they'll try to imitate it in their little concerts or opera shows or whatever buildings that they call it. Go ahead.
It's ironic. Most people don't know that the basis for your cartoons come from minstrel shows.
Right.
So if you remember the old cartoons from back then, like why were they so violent? He shot him in the face and exploded a grenade in his face and hit him with an anvil. It's because before they was having mice and cats fight for cartoons, they used to be Zip Coons like that. That was your cartoons.
Right.
That's why your cartoons wear white gloves today.
Right.
Mickey Mouse, because the slaves wore white gloves.
That's right. Absolutely. Keep going, Ashar.
Concert. Beneath the laughter lay an intertwined loathing and fear of the newly freed black people.
Mm-hmm.
Had not slavery contained the innate savagery of blacks? What now? Would black people take revenge for their enslavement? One of the manifestations of this fear was the redefining of the Zip Coon caricature on the entertainment stage and beyond. Next paragraph. In his early days, Zip Coon was portrayed as a stupid, inferior, silly, and easily dismissed but not dangerous.
Of course.
By the 1880s, shortly after radical reconstruction, Zip Coon and other coon-like characters were redefined as razor-wielding thugs.
What?
Zip Coon and other coon-like characters were redefined as razor-wielding thugs.
Yeah, and that's important. And you remember the whole point I'm bringing this out from this book, because this book has a lot of Black history on why we do certain things and where it comes from and the stigma behind it. So if you wasn't here in the beginning, Ashar read, this is talking about people and brothers and sisters up north. So that would be here in New York and Philly and Jersey and other states that the people from the South would consider up north. And their fear was that we were running around with razor blades. Just razor blades as big as a goddamn bat. Doing what? Ready to cut a so-called innocent oppressor. Snatch a white woman out of nowhere and run away with her. That's their fears. That's why that picture is right there and Ashar showing it. We looking for Ashar.
The video with Joe Biden calling us thugs.
Right. Just be careful playing that. You know what I'm saying? It could get demonetized. But in a sense, like, listen, stuff like that is important to know why we've done certain things when we was in the world. Or if some of us are still doing it. Like when we was kids, I remember growing up, we used to always have so-called razor blades. We had razor blades all the damn time, but it wasn't, in my mind, it wasn't for our oppressor. I might have got jumped. I can't be anywhere without this razor blade. But not knowing it, ignorantly not knowing it, they had us looking like this back in the day. Thinking, listen, they carry razors. They ready to take over our towns and our villages and take our women and our children and our dogs. We have to prepare ourselves. Right. We have to make sure not one of them make it out alive. And what they do, they plaster pictures like this all over. What? Their post offices, their houses. The milkman has this on a milk carton.
Postcards.
The water, Ashar. Yeah, postcards. Because if you read the book, they said this is a postcard. They have it on a calendar to make sure you see it every day as a so-called white man. You fear this. Any black man you come across against, he might have a razor. And if he has a razor, you have to be careful. You have to defend yourself. But keep going, Ashar. What else does it say?
John, it says, through this representation, all Black people, especially Black men, were depicted as hard partying, habitually violent social deviants. Zipcoon came to symbolize scary Black people.
Scary Black people. Keep going.
And the straight razor symbolized coons.
Just think about that. A razor to them symbolized you a coon. If he has a razor, if somebody got a razor, he's a coon to me. So that just lets me think, how the hell did you cut your face, so-called oppressor, back in the day? What you used? So you didn't have so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in your barbershop cutting your so-called razor, your so-called beard in your face? Of course they did. But that's why Ashar read in the beginning that after you know what happened, what's going on, you might not let another Black man put a razor to your neck. Keep going, Ashar.
Concern. Zipcoon metaphorically left the minstrel stage and found new life in coon songs around 1880. These racist songs became a national craze. Page 98.
Listen, and what's so heavy about that, right? This is them, like always, imitating us. It said, read it again, Ashar. What does it say?
Concert. It says, Zipcoon metaphorically left the minstrel stage and found new life in coon songs around 1880.
Yeah, so to them, this is entertainment to them.
It's radio hits.
Right, it's hits. It's like us talking about killing each other and what? White people going to the show, buying up all the tickets. You talking about cocaine and this and that and marijuana. Talking about lean and fentanyl and pills and mushrooms, bank robberies, shooting your brother down in the street, whores. He's going to buy out all the tickets. It's amusing to him. Keep going, Ashar.
These racist songs became a national craze.
A national what?
A national craze.
They couldn't get enough of it.
For a generation of Americans.
Mhm.
It's like the Bieber fever.
The beaver fever, right? Keep going.
In the 1890s, there were more than 600 coon songs published.
It was what?
More than 600 coon songs published.
Just think about that, man. Just think about if there's one song you heard, I don't know, just think of any song in your life you heard like, damn, this song is one of the most coolest songs I ever heard. Now think about 600, 599 more that America was going crazy over. That's how you know he's a deceiver. That's how you know he's always controlled the music. That's how you know he needs to be eradicated, man. He needs to be destroyed. Why? Because if we keep letting him be here, he's going to keep flooding the stuff with things like this. He's going to change the narrative of other things. He's going to whitewash this. He's going to blackwash that. And when he blackwashes, guess what he does? He makes you look like a zip coon. He makes you look like you're a murderer, a killer. When he's been going around centuries doing things like this. He's been going around every continent doing what? So-called civilizing everybody. But go ahead, Ashar. Keep going.
There were more than 600 coon songs published.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them selling millions.
Some of them what?
Selling millions.
Selling what?
Millions.
What year we was in, Ashar?
1890s.
So they was making millions off of our so-called ignorance back then. And what year was it, Ashar?
In the 1890s.
1890s. I'm curious. Can we find out how much just $1 million was?
Alexa,
1890s. How much it was?
How much was $1 million in the late 1800s?
Compared to now.
From in2013dollars.com. $1 million in 1985 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $2,805,167.29 today, an increase of $1,805,167.29 over 38 years.
About $2 million today.
$2 million. So
that was only 35 years.
Oh, Alexa, how much, Alexa? How much was $1 million in the late 1800s?
From in2013dollars.com. $1 in 1987 is equivalent in purchasing.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, $1 million in 1890.
From in2013dollars.com. $1,500 in 1890
No,
is
you might have to
equivalent
type
in
it.
purchasing power to about $49,500.
Alexa, stop.
no, we're gonna have to type it in. But listen, when we get, you got it. I mean the mic.
$1 million in 1890 is worth $33 million today.
So just think about that. Just having $1 million in 1890? It was equivalent to what of today?
Roughly 33 million, a little over.
Little 33 million. Let's lowball it. Let's just say 30 million. So they was making just 1 million back then was $30 million. And it said they made millions, right, Ashar? What it says?
Selling millions of copies.
Millions of goddamn copies, man. Millions of copies. Your oppressor's the goddamn devil, man. He's a devil. He's been making money off of you since forever. And this is just music. Let's not talk about cotton. Let's not talk about
Sugar.
Right, sugar,
Tobacco.
all the
furs.
damn to get everything tax free. He's been making millions off of our backs.
Insurance.
Huh?
Insurance.
Yeah, insurance, good or bad, or whatever we doing. He made money off of it. They gotta pay, man. They gotta pay, and the only way they can pay is for them to do the same thing that we did. So when we have them so-called as slaves, you know what? I want them to do the hard times, and when it's hard, we're gonna make fun of them in the movie theaters.
That's equality.
Huh?
That's equality.
Yeah, that's equality. That's justice, man. That's justice. If they're crying because what the food is so spicy, guess what's going to happen in those mental shows when we do it? We have the most spiciest segment on stage. Why? Because that's pain for them, right? They don't like things so spicy, according to them.
You have to do a skit where they just add salt and pepper.
Listen, but the problem is that the problem that benefits them. That's not at their disadvantage. Disadvantage is it has to have all the greatest spices in it. It's too hot for them. And then the faces they make, I gotta put it on stage. I gotta dance with it. And then we'll make billions off them. And then when they see it and they're crying, I could benefit off their hurt too. Why? Because when they hurt, what are they gonna do? They might make songs. They might make stories. And then what happened? Their stories don't belong to them. Why? Because they're slaves. So whatever stories they made, it belongs to me. And it's right, and it will be justice. Why? Because everything I said, they've done it to us. And more.
Right.
And more. We keep going, Ashar. What else is there?
Concert. Not coincidentally, this decade has been described as the nadir of the Black experience in the United States, a period that witnessed the cumulative weakening of resistance to racism.
Right.
While Black people were being denied the vote with literacy tests and poll taxes and were lynched in public spectacles, coon songs were performed by whites or blacks, portrayed Black people as cultural parasites.
As what?
Cultural parasites, unfit to vote, attend racially integrated schools, enjoy public accommodations, and, in some instances, unfit to live.
Keep going, Ashar.
Next paragraph. In coon songs, Blacks began to appear as not only ignorant and indolent, but also devoid of honesty or personal honor, given to drunkenness and gambling, utterly with ambition, utterly without ambition, sensuous, libidinous, even lasciviousness. The minstrel Negro would wrestle you for a watermelon. The post-Reconstruction coon Negro would cut your throat to take your watermelon.
Listen, and that's how that's them. That's how they see every single one of us. And it's so ironic because they've always used watermelon. And now, if you don't know, they've always used razor blades. They always use that. Like, just think about when they search you don't got anything on you that might poke me. You have a knife on you. Why? Because that's what they think of. It's always drilled in their brain that you might have a razor blade on you. Why? Because it goes back to the 1800s, the 1700s. It ain't new. It's not new, or it damn sure ain't old. But keep going, Ashar.
Yes, sir. It says most coon songs were written by white people.
What?
Most coon songs were written by white people.
I want you to read it again.
Most coon songs were written by white people.
Right. Now, just think about that. It says most coon songs, what Ashar?
Were written by white people.
Written by white people. So that's letting you know, these songs that you hear today, who you think they're written by, Ashar?
White people.
You think these these songs is about murdering black men and black women being whores? You think we're writing that all the time?
Written by white people.
Listen, that's where your songs is being. Who's writing your songs? Not only that they're most likely writing your songs, they're They're taking your money. They're taking your culture. They're saying that you don't know how to read, right? You don't know how to do anything. You damn zip coon. They're calling you everything on the face of the earth. And then when you do something, guess what they do? They're going to take it and they're going to make money over it. And when they do it, oh my God, when they do it, it's fantastic. It's a new craze. It's something that all Americans should do. But when you do it, my God, it's a national crisis. A black man might stab you. A black man might have a razor blade. You know what I'm saying? He might have, not only will he might have a razor blade, my God, he might have a watermelon in his back pocket. Because that's how they see you according to the oppressor. Because they wrote this book. It wasn't us. This is them. Go ahead, show that book on the screen, Ashar.
The book or
the book? Nah, show the book so brothers and sisters could go buy that book. Not just, I'm not the only one who should have this book. Go out there and buy this book, man. Go out there and buy any book that helps you understand why your oppressor is the so-called deceiver of the Bible, man. A goddamn devil. Go ahead, Ashar, blow that book up. And if they can't read it, say what the name of the title is one more time.
Watermelon, Nooses, and Straight Razors.
Mm-hmm.
Stories from Jim Crow Museum by David Pilgrim.
Right. Listen, and this is important because you have to understand where all the stigma and dogma comes from. It just don't come out of nowhere. You don't just see your brother on the street one day got a razor blade in his mouth and he's like, I'm gonna put a razor blade. Nah, it comes from stuff like that. And the problem is when your oppressor says it, you know what ends up happening? You end up doing it because it must be true. It gotta be true. If black people are carrying around razors, I might as well carry around a razor too. When in essence, we weren't even doing stuff like that. And even if it was, they blew it out of proportion like they always do. But keep going, Ashar.
Concern. Most coon songs were written by white people, but some of the most racist versions.
But some of the most what?
Racist versions were written by black people.
Keep going.
In the coon's trademark, written by black performers Bert Williams and George Walker, the coon's character is assessed harshly. Here's the song. Now listen, and a fact I'll show, a pointer that all do not know, as certain and sure as holy writ, and not a coon's exempt from it. Now you've heard about birds of a feather, 4 things you'll always find together, regardless of condition of sun or moon, a watermelon, razor, a chicken, and a coon. 3 gemmen of color, one day did steal a melon for their noonday meal. A lesson in fractions with razors gave, for an equal share each coon did crave. Till a runaway team dashed past the door, 'twas a load of chickens, they waited no more, but rushed pell-mell the fowls to assail. Not a pullet was left to tell the tale. The Blue Vein Club chose Dark Town Hall, the proper place for their full-dress ball. Had watermelons and chickens galore, so the hall was crowded to the door. A peddler stood near the entrance quiet. 3 tubs of razors he sold that night. Each coon bought one with a grateful smile. They'd rather be dead than out of style. And the chorus says, all coons need their razors when they go to fight.
Wait, and you saying this is the chorus?
This is the chorus right now.
Keep going.
All coons need their razors when they go to fight. A chicken and a coon are fast friends as a cloudy night. Everybody shout their trademark. Everybody sing this tune. A watermelon razor, a chicken and a coon. The lyrics to the coon's trademark were intended to be funny. And while it is true that people who listened and danced to the offbeat rhythms of the song were entertained, they were also Salakia, they were also digesting racial propaganda, sadly in this case, performed by two black men.
Mm.
Even a cursory examination of the song reveals racial stereotypes. Black men as dangerous, chicken obsessed, watermelon thieves. The use of the words blue vein club, with referencing light skinned people, and dark town hall, referencing dark skinned people, are the songwriter's way of reinforcing the idea that not a coon's exempt from being a chicken thieving, watermelon craving criminal. Talking about the light skin and the dark skin.
Listen, and that's letting you know there is no difference between us because of skin color.
Right.
But the thing I want to say, right, when it comes to like this song, did they say who wrote the song?
Yes.
Who they say wrote the song?
Written by black performers Burt Williams and George Walker.
Right. So, all right.
If I may,
Uh-huh.
it makes sense for black people to write the most racist things,
Right.
because how else how else would the black man become the Christian pastor today? How else will the sellouts become famous or more in popularity or have
Right.
more or be able to live in the house if they weren't talking down amongst their own people?
Right. Listen, I agree. Like, listen, even with that narrative, like, because I don't want to eat, because there's nothing changed like how it is today. Like, we do write songs that's crazy about gun violence and sex and murder and drugs. We do, but the thing I want brothers and sisters to realize is the ones that really make it is the ones written by so-called our oppressor. Because if you read what it said majority of the songs are written by him. They are written by him. Not to say we don't do songs like that, but guess what? What really makes it? Songs that's absolutely ridiculous. It could be written by us, but guess who really writes it? I believe our oppressor writes those songs more than we do.
Yeah.
I really do, because we're bad, but we're not racist bad.
Who else would harbor such thoughts that they would transfer into entertainment?
Right, of course. But what I'm saying, even when we're bad with it, we don't. It's not as racist as it would be like that. It will be more on the line of glorifying it. That's not glorifying it. That's just making it just racist, and that's what our oppressors surely do. He surely makes stuff racist. And guess what? He's gonna buy it and eat it all up, like they did right there during this time. But go ahead, Usher. Keep going. How much more we got?
We got we got a couple of pages left.
All right. Read a few more.
Concern. And even when black people attend a full dress ball, they buy 3 tubs of razors.
Right.
To be a black person, especially a black man, is to pursue style. And style means, among other things, having a straight razor. The razors featured in the song symbolize the belief that black people had a tendency to engage in vicious, mindless violence. As racial propaganda, the coon's trademark represented a more vile caricature of black people than did many coon songs.
Right.
But it was hardly the only anti-black song. A song that paints an equally dark image of black people was Coon That Carried the Razor, also known as The Coon That Had the Razor, which depicts black men as so violent and bloodthirsty that a white police officer is afraid to arrest them.
Yeah. See?
And I give up the song here too.
Listen, and it goes back to what I was just saying. When a cop pulls you over, when an officer pulls you over, what's the first thing they do? And they have you out the car. You don't got nothing sharp on you, right? You got nothing dangerous. You don't have nothing to work. I don't have nothing to worry about, right? Listen, and it comes from these songs. You don't think our oppressor's great-great-grandfather knew about this song? They know about these songs. And what they do, they tell their grandkids. Then they tell their kids. And then they tell their kids until what?
Joe Biden's born.
Right, until Joe Biden's born. Or what was the other the war veteran. What was his name? Oh my goodness, he died a while back.
Was it McCain?
Yes, yes. Unless you're John McCain too, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're him too. But keep going, Ashar.
Concert, page 100. One of the major differences between the Razor-Toting coon and the Razor-Toting brute is that the former reserves his violence for other black people. Coon songs would not have been as popular if the lyrics included descriptions of black men carving whites to the fat or chopping the ears off a white man clean off his head.
Wait, so you saying it wouldn't have been popular?
No.
So, so it's saying it was only popular because he was talking about
Harming other black people.
harming other black people.
Right.
Technically, like how it is today.
Right.
Ain't no different. And guess what? And that's a way for our people to try to make money. And that's what I mean by we will glorify the things we do. Right there. That's the part I'm talking about. The stuff we would do when we talk bad about each other and racism and prejudice and whatever, killing and murder and sex and drugs, is stuff like that. It would never be like how the oppressor does it. Talking about you could never catch me without watermelon chicken and this and that. It's ironic because now the people on these websites, these social media platforms, TikToks, they're actually doing these menstrual coon songs from back in the day and making millions and billions. It's just like that big dude on TikTok that just be dancing and eating all types of food. You know what I'm talking about, this, all right?
Big muscular.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody know what the hell I'm talking about. It's stuff like that. White people can't enjoy it. Guess what? They'll buy it all up. You talking about killing and having sex with your people and murdering your people, I'll buy it all up. I'll go to your show. But once you start talking about your oppressor's the devil, once you're talking about white people can't be saved, you talking about enslavement, you talking about harming a so-called white woman or something that would scare the so-called masses of white America. My God, now you're a super predator. Now you are what they said in the book, one of the examples.
Now you are a a watermelon, razor, and chicken and a coon.
Yeah, now that's who you are. You understand? But keep going, Ashar.
Concern. It says here that coon songs use black on black crime as entertainment.
Yeah.
And as proof of both black people's inferiority and white people's superiority. In 1905, William H. Council, the president of the Agricultural and Mechanical College for Negroes at Normal, Alabama, denounced coon songs. It is revealing that his censure embraces the anti-black rhetoric often spewed by white people. The coon songs are against us. They make sentiment against us. Make the young Negroes burn coon songs and go to the songs of our mothers and fathers. Teach them about God. The cake-walking Negro is a disgrace to the race. He is a monkey. He is the Jim Crow Negro. He is the insulter of women. He furnishes the class who are lynched. Some stereotypes die, others morph.
Right.
Almost 100 years after the coon songs dominated the American consciousness, Jim Croce, a white singer, wrote and performed Bad, Bad Leroy Brown. The song, which became a hit in 1973, was inspired by Croce's relationship with a man whom he befriended while both served in the army. Croce did not identify the race of Leroy Brown in the song or in interviews. However, the song's lyrics portray a character that bears a striking resemblance to the black men portrayed in coon songs. Leroy is a name stereotypically associated with black men. He is flashy. He like his fancy clothes.
And the thing about it is, I wish we had the PDF because they're showing a picture, right, Ashar, of what it's like. I mean, if you want to try to put it on the camera, you can. But they're showing an actual picture of what Ashar is talking about. If you could try as best as you can. There you go. Don't be a fool. What was the other picture? The one on the black and white one. That was from before, right? Yeah, show them that one. See, everybody scared and they running away because what? He's a big bad coon with the razor. He the man with the razor, so everybody running. That's the songs that's gonna make white America. That's millions. Sell millions. You understand? Keep going, Ashar.
He is flashy.
Mm-hmm.
He like his fancy clothes and a braggart like the 1890s zip coon dandy. He has a penchant for shooting dice and fighting over a girl that looked nice. In the 1970s, these were all well assimilated anti-black racial tropes. Crocet went further. In order to make Leroy Brown a real badass, he wrote and sang he got a .32 gun in his pocket for fun.
Right.
He got a razor in his shoe. The black man portrayed in the coon songs may not have had a gun for fun, but he definitely would have had a razor. And he might have hidden it in his shoe. There is no evidence that Crocet wrote his song to offend black people.
Right.
Indeed, he may have written and performed the song as homage to a friend, as he sometimes claimed. Nevertheless, the imagery in the song reinforces decades-old racial stereotypes about scary black men with flashing.
1 second. Yawala. Close the door. No, go. If you go on the phone, go. Yeah. The water. Now go ahead. Read it again.
Concern. There is no evidence that Crocet wrote his song to offend black people. Indeed, he may have written and performed the song as homage to a friend, as he sometimes claimed.
Right.
Nevertheless, the imagery in the song reinforces decades-old racial stereotypes about scary black men with flashing straight razors.
Is that the end of the razor thing, or is it still more?
Nope. Razor-Toting brutes. It goes on to the next section.
How much pages is left of that?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It goes into a lot more stuff, sir.
All right. So you know what? Now we're gonna start with that. Right? Because I didn't want this to be a long class. I just wanted to go into it. We're gonna go into more next time. But I want brothers and sisters to remember why your oppressor is a so-called deceiver, man. You understand? I want brothers and sisters to listen to more of these subjects, because there's a lot of things we don't know. There's a lot of things that happened in the past that's in books that you might not even understand why we do it and why it's so racist, or the prejudice and where it comes from. Like, I ain't know until I read that book about razors, why people, especially it's specifying brothers and sisters up north on us having razors, us being a crazy black Negroes outside with razors, trying to kill people, quote unquote, unalive people, Salakia. You understand? And that stigma done came all the way to the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, to all the way now. And guess what? It's in this little book that's damn near $10, $11. A whole bunch of knowledge in this book letting you know why our oppressor thinks the way he does. Because it's not just prejudice on us, it's on him. Because why? He still thinks that you have a knife on you. You have a razor on you. He still laughs about watermelon and jokes and chicken and Kool-Aid. He still loves when you kill your brother and rap about it. What he gonna do? He gonna sell out your souls are gonna be sold out. But stop talking about black on black people coming together with love and unity, and see how quick he shuts that down.
Right.
See how fast he blows up your goddamn town if y'all finally want to leave him and come together with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. See how fast your town goes underwater. See if you leave all his religions and come back to the Most High God. Let's see if he might not drone strike your whole church. Like we read it in Psalms, right? It says he burns down our sanctuaries. So what makes you think he won't do it again? And not only do it again, still doing it. Y'all, you want something to say? Go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you because those tropes are still being pushed through music today,
Right.
and people don't tend to think that all the music labels are owned by white people. Yeah,
Right,
Pressure owns all of the major distribution. Like even if you have a favorite artist who started a label, it's under one of the major labels.
Right.
And what people don't know is that no album can get put out without getting approved.
Right.
They have to submit it. So if you start talking about black, Hispanic, Native Indians coming together, the album, they're gonna shelf you.
Yeah, they're gonna shove you. And not only that, let's just say you won't go to them. Your algorithm won't argue rhythm.
right.
Your algorithm won't argue with it. I'm just making up stuff. But the point I'm saying is talking about black unity won't get pushed.
Right.
It will not get pushed at all. But you know what will get pushed? Deion Sanders and this and the fights. The team is they love that.
Sexy Red.
Yeah, they love all that. They love all that stuff that talks bad about us, make us look like we're crazy maniacs, sex fiends, drug addicts, murderers, or we just eat chicken for days. A fridge is full of nothing but chicken and watermelon and Kool-Aid. That's what they would like to think. They thought about that back in the 1890s. My God. Just think about, go back into the 1890s. My God. You not think we're still slaves. We're still slaves. But yet they found a way to make money even off our pain, off our plight, off our tropes. Because even though we're in this situation, we still have to find some type of relief in something. And even though the music might be bad, it's something to release our stress, our problems, a way of showing you how the hell we gonna make it through this goddamn struggle. Go ahead.
And even when we do, they take that and mock that.
Right.
Watermelon was the first enterprise for black people out of slavery.
Right.
We was farmers, so we sold watermelon. It's quick, it's fast, it's sugar, everyone likes it. So then they started making fun of us for watermelon.
Right.
To whereas now it's a racist trope when it was enterprise at the time.
Right. Listen, they do that with everything.
Right.
They do that with everything. Just look at how they treat us. Just look how they treat black people. Look how they treat so-called the Isupk on the street. They calling us Power Rangers, right? You call us Power Rangers. You call us thugs with books.
Mortal Kombat
characters, right? And why? Just think about why that's so portrayed so hard. And all we're just trying to say is black and Hispanic and Native Indian people come together. I wonder why we get treated like we some thugs with Bibles. Just like how that brother had a knife, had a razor. And I'm looking for the illest woman and nobody's going to stand in my way. But yet in reality, that probably even never happened as much as our oppressor wanted it to happen. Right. And if it did happen, you know what? I bet you he was going to do what? Cut a white man's hair. From why? Because he had to go to a job. Because who was the white man's barbers? We were doing everything. They're lazy. They're the true lazy ones. But because of that, the stigma of us being willing drug dealers, slinging crack, pimping this and that, watermelon there and here and there, chicken this, razor blades and gun busting. It followed us all the way to now, when in reality, we supposed to be priests and prophets and coming together in unity.
Right.
That's the only way we're going to end all of these tropes. That's the only way. Other than that, listen, it's going to keep going. And the sad part is it's going to get worse because this generation with social media and AI and whatever else might come out after, it's going to get worse. Right. It's going to be a whole lot of blackmail in the future. It's going to be a whole lot of he said, she said, and you ain't going to do it. Chat GBT going to have you looking like you said this and that and performing that, and you ain't even alive yet.
They already talking about digital blackface.
Yeah.
How, like, you know, they say a lot of the people you see online who you just think is black.
It's not even
talking
black.
Crazy and saying wild stuff.
Not even real.
Not even real.
Listen, I believe it. I believe it.
Not real people, or is like it's AI.
Ain't real, Ashar. Ain't there. Disney. Pixar. You know what I'm saying? They're not there. And listen, I'm not surprised. I'm not. Because listen, it's the warfare is going digital. And if we don't prepare ourselves to be righteous, we're going to just fall right into the same trap. We're going to fall right into it. And then that battle is going to even be worse. But with that, we the ISUPK starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We've been doing this since 1969, letting so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that you're the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As always, we the ISUPK. We have Long Island YouTube. Subscribe to that. We got headquarters. You got Let It Be Known. You got Cross the Line Radio. You got Captain Desariak in the lab. Subscribe to those things. Listen, after this, we doing our Let It Be Known, right?
Concert.
I hope so. But listen, catch us in the field. We're going to do Let It Be Known. We be back. Shalom, Israel. We out of here.